Welcome back to From the Pit, where we're going to cover everything from country core slam dance to Euro pop grind fusion. I'm back, Mike. We got
What are you
Phil.
laughing about? It's been around since early 60s.
Yeah, you know.
We got Frank.
Yeah.
We got Ron.
Yes, you do.
We're going to jump right into our brutal news segment and start off with something a little bit annoying. Keith Richards is a dirty cunt.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
probably
boy.
being nice about it.
So,
Yeah.
Keith Richards, who is so notorious for stealing riffs that Chuck Berry once knocked him out for stealing half of his fucking riffs, has said about, about Metallica and Black Sabbath. He said, "Millions are in love with them. I just thought they were great jokes."
Which is a dick move.
Dick move.
Especially for Sabbath, for Christ's sake.
Dick
One of the most
move.
influential bands of all time.
You
Boo
gotta
this man.
chill.
Boo this man.
Versus the Stones, who are seen by many as a fucking cheap Beatles knockoff. Which I disagree with, but that's neither here nor there. He believes that all modern rock is dead, saying it sounds like a dull thud to him, and most bands getting the syncopation is beyond them. It's all endless thudding away with no bounce, no lift, no syncopation.
He's never listened to, like, Gent or anything like that, has
Or
he?
anything probably besides like a radio.
Even with modern, just modern rock and roll, you have so many bands like Queens of the Stone Age who do things that are just above and beyond.
Silver Sun pickups are cool for like radio
Yeah.
rock. I mean,
There's just a lot of great music. I
Foo
don't.
Fighter.
Everyone tell fucking Keith Richards to.
Anything Dave Grohl touched, like them crooked vultures.
Oh, them Crooked
he's
Vultures is
salty.
great.
Dude, he's salty.
He's just
What do they understand about syncopation? If we're really gonna get down to brass tacks,
Yeah.
as far as what real bands are doing right now.
3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna beat the shit out of this
Yeah.
one-time signature for my entire career.
In good news, Bruce Dickenson has beat cancer, and during an interview, he actually recollected on how he regrets not punching out Axl Rose.
Boom! Another cunt bag.
Which would have been fucking great.
It-
That would have been.
Oh my god.
He was also completely justified in punching him out, because, what was it, they were in...
It was a 1988 French-Canadian show,
They were playing in Quebec.
and I'm not sure specifically, but a lot of the crowd was responding in French, and this was off-putting to Axl.
You're in their country. You're a guest.
Yeah.
Correct. So,
Bruce Dickinson is a badass. I wish he had punched him out, but oh well.
Yeah, like that. Because I mean, like how you were saying earlier, would really only have added another check mark to the list of badass shit Bruce Dickinson has accomplished in his time.
That could be a whole discussion
Oh,
one day.
boy.
It's just Bruce Dickinson. But speaking of
Our
Dickinson,
Lord and Savior.
new
Oh,
Maiden album.
I thought you were gonna run with it.
Oh,
Iron
no.
Maiden's new album, Book of Souls, is on track and would be their 5th album to hit UK charts #1. And again, I believe this is from charts.org or .com. It came from blabbermouth.net. We'll put links in the description. But that's great news for Iron Maiden. I mean,
Oh, it's
doing their thing.
Still.
getting
Yeah.
recognized for it. You know.
Yeah,
It's been how many years, and they're still putting out great stuff.
You know.
Yeah, sure, it might not be to the level of their earlier albums, but Christ, when you've been doing it for this long.
Yeah, I mean they've got the back catalog of enough great songs
And
that
they're not
like
sitting around talking shit.
yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Hear that, Keith Richards?
You know, just coasting on their former glory. Like they're still putting out good shit. Like, you know, bands that are kind of stopped putting out music a while ago.
Speaking of old bands that are still going, this is really upsetting news. And Lemmy has been unable to finish quite a few of their recent performances due to recovering from a lung infection. It's been pretty well known that the dude's in poor health for quite a while, hence this being their last tour. So if if they happen to actually play any of the shows that are anywhere near you, I strongly suggest getting out.
I believe he's on the up and up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he kind of pushed himself a little too hard too early, but like I said,
He's a walking
Sometimes
legend.
you gotta rest. Like you gotta let that stuff clear up.
oh yeah, man. Even
Lung infections. If you're gonna be,
You're
singing, and
you're
stuff
like
that. Like, yeah.
didn't exactly like a whispering type of.
Yeah.
Ron, you down to talk about the Gittler?
Oh, yes. I am jazzed about this.
Look at that! Look at that look in your face.
Yeah, dude. It's fucking new guitar gear, and that it's something that I like.
Something to gas
Well,
about.
it's
Something
an
to gasp
older,
about.
it's older concept, but
It's an old concept, but it's new.
been
It's
rebirthed.
Yeah, exactly. Like a modern spin on basically the Gittler. It seems it's described as the minimalist guitar, and it's actually really cool.
it looks like it achieves it. Being made out of titanium for weight and tonal quality.
Exactly. And then they also have a deluxe model that comes with combat grade like coating on
Like a
it,
Cerakote type thing, which will make the paint resistant.
making the fucking thing goddamn near indestructible.
Yeah, should be a lifelong piece.
Yeah.
They're a little bit pricey, looking at like $5 or $6 grand, but
But you're talking about a
trimmed down to the barest essentials while
and a
still
well crafted
maintaining-
That's just normal.
And I mean,
it
like
maintains its sound.
just the design of it is really cool. We have a link in the description, or you could just search Gittler Guitar. It's really cool. It's pretty much just imagine one long piece going down, and then you have bars going along as frets with no actual real material for a neck or even a fretboard.
it looks like a spinal cord.
It
And
really
it's
does.
awesome.
Or like a fish.
But
Yes, yeah,
bones.
perfect.
But with everything so cut away, you have 31 frets, and that's insane.
Almost 4 octaves or 4 octaves, I think they had said.
The range of motion is just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
On
And
this
Oh, there's
thing.
no impedance.
and it's extremely lush sounding.
Oh yeah, and it's versatile. It
surprisingly
it doesn't sound like all gimmicky like
No.
like a toy or anything like
It's
that.
got more shimmer than warmth, like we were saying, but you pair it with a nice tube amp.
Totally imagine that. So gent bands get on it.
Yeah, right. We can slap some more strings on there.
All right, but that's pretty much all I'd have to say about it. It's really awesome, pricey but awesome.
I would like to see a bass done that way.
I imagine that'll be something on their docket. I wouldn't see why not. This brings us to hot off the press or the new releases, at least the ones that we could get in the show.
Yeah, this month has been
Ridiculous.
loaded.
Or maybe I'm just not accustomed to seeing the amount of releases that come out. But
I feel like it happens pretty regularly in like early fall.
Yeah, seems like album.
But
Winter
yeah,
season.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
I pulled
A lot
most of
them.
our things to talk about today just from the 4th. For example, Uncle Ass and the Deadbeats put out The Night Creeper. We've talked about them before. They're really awesome, sludgy, like psychedelic sort of.
It's so fucking cool.
It is. I find myself going back.
Great
to them
music
a lot.
videos too.
Yeah, nothing about it feels forced or gimmicky.
Mm.
Feels like you pulled an album straight out of a fucking record crate that's been hanging around since the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for the new stuff.
Black Tongue, for any deathcore fans, they put out an album, The Unconquerable Dark, again on the 4th. For fans of the Acacia Strain and the like, you'll dig it.
Amorphous is also releasing. Was it The Red Cloud?
Under the Red Cloud.
Yeah. Oh, good melodic metal.
Yeah.
Like amazing songwriting.
Fucking Pig Destroyer, dude. Fucking Pig Destroyer.
Hell yeah.
We don't need to really tell you about them, but
It's got some,
Prowler in
grind,
the Yard.
thrash, Prowler in the
deluxe reissue.
And then there's the Iron Maiden, we mentioned
Yes.
earlier, Book of Souls. Was that was the 4th?
Christ.
Yeah, that's the 4th.
May the 4th
There's
be
only one I had on
crazy.
here that isn't on the 4th, and it's actually because it's a bit of a salty topic.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. I'll go this. Apparently, Slayer's deciding to release Relentless on September. Repentless.
There you
Sorry.
go.
I don't blame you. It's not a real word.
No. And for their music video, they start off with a little dictionary definition of what it is.
boy.
It's
Did they
cute.
Did they just make it up?
Yeah, I think so.
sound.
Oh my god.
So they're releasing this on 9/11.
Intentionally this time.
Yeah, which that's my point. Okay, anyone knows when God Hates Us All came out, it was released on September 11th, that day. It was a coincidence. Kind of happened that way. It was kind of cool that it happened that way. Like, not that obviously those events were very tragic, but an album being called that getting released on that date, coincidentally, was
Something oddly metal about
Yeah, yeah.
like, but yeah, we're going to release it on the date is not cool.
Nah.
Slayer for years has been my favorite band, and reading about this, I was just like, no. I'm quite upset about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible, really, not to be a Slayer fan to some extent if you're really into metal, but I just feel like Kerry King is really out there kind of being a douche nowadays. Well, let's just hope he knocks it off and just gets back to writing better music than this, because he can.
My heart is broken a bit.
Drown your sorrows, man.
Ironically, and in some ways, this leads us into our feature topic a little bit.
Totally.
How do you feel when a band inevitably alters their sound in some way?
So many examples.
So many instances of bands trying to rise up to sort of notoriety and getting backlash. It felt like an appropriate topic to sort of investigate.
But all right, so there's a few different ways you could look at it, and the way I kind of look at it. And on one hand, you could say that a band might be changing their sound to fit what's trendy and what's happening right now, and to do more, I guess, digestible or relatable music. But at the same time, like, I know bands talk to each other and bands hang out with each other, and I feel like maybe in some degree when you hear like two bands might put out a similar sounding album or albums that have like similar licks and riffs and everything like that, that might just be two musicians bouncing ideas off of each other and coming to the same point different ways, you know.
It's very possible.
But I'm sure we also have the more realistic view that there's money to be made.
I think it really varies. I mean,
I have an interesting example to pose to the Lamb of God fans. Not necessarily to like antagonize, but an actual question to pertinent to the topic. So, the lead singer had talked about potentially softening the sound of the band. Are you guys going to continue listening to them after that?
From what I've heard of that one track you showed me, I really wasn't digging it that much. I mean, Lamb of God has always been a very heavy...
aggressive.
Yeah, like...
Which I think is the exact word he said, used, less aggressive.
Which, I don't... That to me feels like you're doing it for the purpose of... to, I guess, reach a wider audience. That's... To me, that's not a reason to change your sound. If you're doing it just for, I guess, growing as an artist, I can get behind that. I can understand that. If you're doing it for monetary reasons, I understand you got to pay your bills, but
now what if
stay true to...
What if one leads to the other? What if you deciding to soften things up because you feel as though you've matured as a musician leads you to gain more fans and more money?
And that...
Well,
sure.
I feel like the two can kind of waver in and out. One of my favorite examples is AFI, who went from being a very straightforward punk hardcore band. Their sound grew over time with albums like Black Sails and fucking The Art of Drowning. Even Sing the Sorrow to a degree. But I do feel like their next album after that, they kind of realized like, oh hey wait, the more we do this kind of sound, the more people listen. And there's a very distinct split between those, between Sing the Sorrow and the next album that I can't even fucking remember the name of. But they went from, I feel like, evolving to just watering down.
Oh. Yeah, and I'll even say, like, you can also alter your sound while still retaining kind of the same feel that the band always has.
Absolutely. I mean, it's Shai Hulud has done exactly that over the course of their career. Every album sounds like a Shai Hulud album, but if I put on Reach Beyond the Sun, it definitely sounds different than Hearts Once Nourished with Hope and Compassion.
Even
They've grown.
Coheed really did that. Like, if you listen to Coheed, if you listen to Second Stage Turbine Blades, then listen to, like, pretty much, like, One or... No, Black Rainbow. You're the Black Rainbow. Like, two totally different bands. Two totally different bands at that point. But you listen to it, and it's still definitely Coheed.
I think something fair to say is, like, in reference to Coheed, they were putting out quality, passionate music the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of instances where I fall off with a band, for example, AFI, is I feel like there's a direct lack of passion and feeling, and that's kind of why I was there in the first place. It's not for, a mnemonic hook or anything like that. So.
Yeah, my favorite band from Slayer, if you listen to them from their very first album to World Painted Blood, you could still tell it was Slayer throughout but as time went on, that aggression progressed.
That progression progressed?
That aggression.
The aggression progressed.
Yes. They stayed true to that.
Pro-aggression.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Well,
I see what you're trying to do.
That's one of those spots. Alright, the famous example in metal is always Metallica.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Let's talk about the Black Album.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Let's not. Okay. I feel like the Black Album is, for what it is, not a bad album. Not a bad album.
It's not a bad hard rock album.
Yeah.
And I think
I honestly, I feel like that... No, because there's still some songs on there that are... I would totally fucking call that metal song. Like, Through the Never, that's metal. Holier Than Thou, that's metal. Like, it's a metal album. It's just watered down. It's more radio friendly. It's more digestible than what they had put out in the past. I think even once you get to the reload, that's when their sound really kind of warped a little bit.
Does that have the Gimme Fuel, Gimme Fire song?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
but
we're talking
Cash
money.
There was such a
cut their fucking hair and
there was such a complete.
Lars got a nipple ring.
Yeah. I think he always had that for some.
There was such a complete 180 in their sound from one album to the next.
Definitely.
And a lot of it had to do with the producer they were working with. What's his name? Bob Rock. When a
killer
band
of
like Metallica starts working with the guy who produces Poison, there's clearly something going on. Come on. Who has done that and made a good album?
And here's your problem with them was when they made that Saint Anger, and everyone just went ooh ooh ooh. They then responded with Death Magnetic to prove that they can still.
Was that the one that came out a long time later?
It was like 2009.
Yeah,
Was
It took almost 10 years for them to.
They
5
did,
years.
but you listen to
That
that
was
album.
Yeah, it was like 5 years because Saint
Saint Anger
was
felt like forever.
Saint Anger was like 04.
It was a long, dark
It was
period.
like a plague.
Yeah. Yes.
And when they released Death Magnetic, I remember thinking like, this is cool, but there wasn't what you said, passionate. They were just doing it for the sake to show that they can do it.
No, when you saw that music video with those assholes hanging out in the prison, he was like, "Who the hell do you know?"
Oh, that was
here?"
Saint Anger.
We're back to that. Okay.
Yeah, once again. Yeah.
That did kind of get.
I
to me.
don't know.
But back to getting off of Metallica bashing and more back onto the main topic here with the Black Album. I always hear the argument that, this is the band evolving. I don't really think it was the band evolving. I think it was watering down the sound, and I think it was absolutely reaching for a bigger audience. Now, does that necessarily make it a bad album? No, but it wasn't great, and it wasn't. I don't feel like they were doing it for the right reasons. I feel like if Cliff Burton was still alive, that album would have never fucking happened.
No.
Well, duh. Cliff Burton was like probably the most metal member that
He was the thrash.
Yeah, he was the thrash
in Metallica.
And Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well,
if it-
I still
I
feel
believe
bad for
the-
Jason Newsted.
I believe the general consensus is if it is developing as an artist, yeah, you can understand that. You can still
Yes.
feel the similar passion or drive that they had. It's when it's, let's make some money.
Or where'd your breakdowns go? Why don't you play more breakdowns?
I hate that.
Dude, that's like I think one of the most common fucking complaints from people when someone puts out like some genero metalcore album and all these like beginner fans like them and then they put out an actual album. Everybody's like, what happened?
You're so low.
It's okay, give him a break. It's like, god damn it.
He learned something.
all
God
right.
forbid you try something different. I mean,
God help us all.
yeah, like you also have to think about, you have like various types of music listeners. You got the people who are like the technique heads who are just waiting, who want to hear somebody shred their fucking face off, and you got the guys that just want something brutal and crushing.
No, I mean there's the crowd that wants them to put that same album out forever.
Exactly.
Which is wrong to
Exactly.
ask of someone, though.
Well,
It's terrible to ask somebody that.
all right. Perfect example of a band who did it right. Between the Buried and Me. Started out
Yeah.
a metalcore band. Granted, very.
Yeah.
They were a metalcore band. They were definitely a few steps ahead of all their peers, but they were metalcore. They have turned into like a full-blown prog band, and it's awesome because you can hear that happening along each album. And the new album's great, and it's not, you don't hear necessarily the old band in the new band, but it's still them, and they've always been doing it for the right reasons.
I kind of feel that same way about La Dispute, where I feel like their earlier stuff, they were a metalcore band that they had a little bit of personality, but it wasn't really enough to like separate them from a whole huge crowd. And then they started putting.
Well,
out,
and I
like,
mean,
Vancouver and
their last
Wild
album,
Light.
there's almost nothing heavy about it. It's interesting.
Yeah, and they managed to still keep it interesting. That's the thing. Like, if I feel like even if you're gonna change your band, even if you're doing it for money, even if you're doing it for this or that, please keep it fucking interesting. Something that
H2O's been doing the same general thing for a long time now, and that remains good.
Yeah, but I mean, they're H2O. Not everyone can be H2O.
I'll say, as far as changing, not necessarily in the sense of growing up in technicality or anything like that, Pantera, all they did, though, is every album, they just got heavier.
Yep.
Let's get heavier. Let's get heavier. Let's get heavier.
Well, for good progression, there's always the Mars Volta.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody likes them at all, but
I feel like that turned into very bad progression at one
what
point.
we're talking about.
yeah.
Mars
Yes.
Volta.
After, oh god.
I mean,
I think after what was it, Francis the Mute, I feel like it just turned into noise. Like, and not good.
Now you
Not
sound
like
like Keith Richards.
Not like no. Not, I mean like the actual noise genre, but it didn't go a good direction like Sonic Youth. It just turned into a mess, a gross mess.
what up, Keith? Keith Richards, ladies and gentlemen. We have
Hey.
Ginger Baker with us.
All right,
Oh, man.
Joining
motherfucker.
us.
He think double slammed you.
Yeah.
A jerk.
Yeah, I'll mushroom stamp you later. Don't fuck with me.
Not my fault. You,
guys can
like
do that on
bad
your own
Mars
time.
Volta
I
albums.
think we're going to slide into our favorite segment.
Into the pit.
Oh my god, yes. I forgot we were even doing this.
All right.
We discussed that for
You
so
can
long.
jump right in?
Oh, I'm jumping right in on a horse made of glorious justice,
And lightning.
riding forth into battle.
Bullshit.
I listened to Unleash the Archers this week.
Of course you did.
Amazing power metal band from Canada. I believe 5-piece. They have 3 awesome albums. If you like power metal, my God, is this great. It's everything you want. And something that they've done, which I feel more bands in this genre should do, they have a female singer whose range just hits perfectly with the band, and she just belts out these notes, and it is amazing.
It's,
Crushes it, yeah.
Oh my God. Like,
and it's I hate to even mention it, but it does feel like there is an incredible lack of female vocals in power metal.
which Pioneer sounds
no
like,
doesn't make
why?
any sense.
Why? This should
Because
be
power
every...
metal sucks.
It's like
No.
no. Until I heard this power
Whoa.
metal. No, power metal was always that shoe that I really liked looking at, but didn't fit my foot right. And when I heard that with a chick, I always had an issue with the guys kind of hitting strange octaves to me, and she was crushing it.
And she's like, she has the highs, and then she has
I
these
don't know
like
if that was
bellowing
appropriate, but
lows.
whatever.
And the riffs are tasty. Oh, they're on tour right now, all over the place, all over North America, and they're coming to your town. Go see them, give them a listen. It's so good.
They're better than Dragon Force.
I feel like taking down a tyrant right now.
I bet.
Wow. So much fucking
So
excitement.
we're gonna run over to Ron or swing back this way?
I'll take it. I did Sons of
You will
Horus.
take it.
I'll take you on the field.
Now this band was kind of hard to pinpoint into what genre to really they kind of fell into, because they had a really unique sound. They kind of at points reminded me of bands like Mandroid or Coheed with a very different style of dynamic vocals. Like the singer was definitely more of a fan of the low end of vocals, mixing it up with screams and stuff like that here and there.
Yeah, they made studying very interesting last night as I listened
imagine.
through their album.
Yeah, because even like outside of the vocals, the guitar still managed to stay very busy, and like everybody still kept very busy.
There's a lot.
You
It's
know.
very high energy.
Definitely a lot, but it still does all that without being too dense and just
Yes.
feeling like you're listening to a wall of sound.
Would
like
you
a wall.
say it's for fans of Hail the Sun, Idola?
Definitely.
Yep.
Like
Three.
Three.
three. Yeah. If you
Just
you
one
like,
three, not two.
yeah, like imagine 3 with a bassier vocalist and
He can still
more.
sing his face off.
He could totally
if you
sing
don't-
his fucking ass off, and like it was just a really good album.
From what I've heard, when they do a clean section, ooh,
They
is it
do a
tasty.
clean section.
Yeah.
They're very they're very like, it's like they play notes like they're paying for them, but they're like each one's so worth it. It's just they just really know what to do. And if you dig those bands, 3, Mandroid, all that kind of stuff, check them out. They're really good.
If you're not familiar with 3, shame on you. Go back and watch our other episodes.
Yeah, we did a whole thing on them because they're awesome too. You should look them up too, because they're also in the link to the description on that video
Otherwise-
too.
Otherwise, I show up at your house with a warhammer.
Oh my god.
Frank's in a mood
Where-
tonight.
He is.
Don't worry.
You'll see that on
Wearing
Saturday
his,
with the booze. I'm sorry. Were you still?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Way to cut them off.
Hey man, we gotta keep it moving.
We gotta progress.
Let's not get back into that.
I covered Ramming Speed this week, and their album was No Epitaphs. It came out this year. It is some awesome throwbacky, but not thrash. Straight up. Not overmixed, not undermixed. Sounds great. It's aggressive, intelligently written songs, and some nice like guttural vocals. So it really hit home for me in the sense that I like the more aggressive vocals in my thrash, kind of like At the Gates.
And circle pit beats.
Oh
Yes.
my
Yeah.
god! Oh my goodness!
I was
Oh
about
my
to say-
god.
Face punching.
Super high energy. I kind of really loved it. And it was a great contrast to Unleash the Archers, because they're
Yes.
real clean power metal, but high energy. And then so was Ramming Speed. So I would totally check that album out and give them a listen. Buy their album.
I love the range of things that we covered this week. I spent a good chunk of the week listening to The Beautiful Ones. I had seen these guys probably about a year ago,
Were they
I want to
beautiful?
say. They're interesting looking guys, I guess. But no, I saw them open for Cruel Hand, I think it was. And I remember, listening to the album a few times before I saw them. I was like, this is cool, and they kind of fell off my radar. And recently, I don't know what made me remember them, but I decided to look into it and found out they have a newer album called Jaded Love that just blew me away. This album has moments that are everything from from really brutal to like absolutely gorgeous,
Beautiful?
really, really beautiful. Yes, they're beautiful. But
And I was a little misled. The intro track, not in a bad way. The intro track was totally like post rock. and then it went right into a really like hardcore sort of old schooly feel, and it was cool.
There are elements of Life of Agony in there. There are elements of Alice in Chains. It's just, the album is really inventive, and I hope it's indicative of the route that a lot of these newer hardcore bands are taking, of just bringing in a bunch of different influences and not just conforming to the standard hardcore sound. I think we've seen a lot of it with bands like Cruel Hand and with Turnstile and Angel Dust, and I hope that, we just start hearing more of this sort of stuff. So the link will be posted to their Bandcamp. Go check them out. Really, really awesome band.
Yeah, and I also, Defeater's album was up, 2 weeks ago?
Oh God, was it?
I think something like that. Fans of that would probably enjoy Defeater, so I'll check that out too.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, moving on to fucking tours.
Tours.
Sadness fills my heart.
Anybody in Illinois, Chicago area probably already knows about Riot Fest. It's a carnival, it's 3 days, and the billing is kind of ridiculous. Everything from Modern Life is War, I think, on day 1, Andrew WK on day 3, and everything in between.
This was that crazy lineup that had has anything ranging from hardcore to some radio alternative and
and in a carnival.
Riot Fest was
and in a carnival. There's also a carnival.
It's the festival that when they first did their comeback, The Refused played, which unfortunately we saw how that ended, but yeah, Riot Fest is really cool. I think it's awesome that they pull all those different genres together, so if you're in the area, absolutely check that out. It'd be silly to miss it.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
Mike
Patton is in what band? Faith No More is going to be there too?
Yep.
It's just everything's there.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It's insane.
Alright.
August Burns Red is on tour with Every Time I Die. I remember liking the other 2 bands they were with, but I didn't list them because I'm great at this. So just check that tour out. I'd recommend it.
And like I said, like a minute and a half ago, sadness fills my heart because Black Sabbath announces the end farewell tour.
They've had a good run.
They
certainly have.
Redefining heavy metal.
Be it.
And then doing it again with Dio when they picked him.
I was going to say, be it with
James Dio or but Sabbath, that makes me sad because Sabbath honestly is probably one of the bands that got me into playing guitar in the first place.
Iommi.
Tony Iommi, the dude had a way of just coming up with shit that was just so sinister, just so fucking evil sounding half the fucking. It was just great.
He was missing a part of his finger.
He was missing parts of his finger.
Dude, I think everybody that plays guitar has had the moment where they accidentally wrote Iron Man.
Yeah, yes, that has happened.
I'm just thinking back about this.
But Iommi, he's such a legendary guitar player. Even the whole band, Geezer Butler.
Those bass lines were tasty.
Yeah, everything they've done. I'm not gonna say everything they've done, but so much of their career is it's just paved in gold.
I mean, they
really left a good legacy.
They were really the spark for all of the countercultures that we talk about on this show.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure if not for them, it would have been someone, but it was them. They were the innovators, so,
paranoid.
It's sad to see them go, but it's probably about time, to be honest.
Also, as said before, Unleash the Archers is on tour throughout North America. Yeah, throughout North America right now for their newest album. So, prepare yourselves for battle.
What were the other bands? Do you remember?
No, I don't know all the bands because I think in some areas they're picking up.
Okay.
I feel like they're picking up
different
acts.
Okay.
I know in the show near us, one of the bands that's going to be playing is called Dick Vomit.
That's what it is.
Holy shit.
I'm pumped for that. I'm really excited to see what this is going to be about.
Oh my god.
Just as a personal favor, too, if you go to the Unleash the Archer show, please send us pictures of you in your best, battle-clad armor.
Oh, yeah.
Your pre-show armor.
That's incredible. Yes. We will show a
If you're
slideshow
going-
if you do
Yes.
that.
If you will be at the app,
Send it to fromthepitmusic@gmail.com, and we will use it for stuff.
and
Also,
if you're going to be at the Allentown show, which is where I'll be at,
Punch Frank in the face.
Please.
as long as I'm holding a beer, we lock eyes and then grunt and run towards each other. I'll be fine with this.
And also that email. Feel free to send all your dick pics. Our producer loves it.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, you've opened up
He
Pandora's
prefers
box.
he prefers the
Dicks.
Handful of hog.
he prefers the underbelly of the hog.
You guys are checking the email.
I'm not checking
I'm
anything.
shutting this show down before it gets worse.
Oh, H2O is also touring to support their new album.
We're very
so
organized.
check online. Because, I mean, Christ. It's
And-
H2O. Go fucking see him.
And there's also Audible, where you can go and download 1.5 million audiobooks.
We're clearly very thoughtful of our sponsors.
First
You know.
month is free.
First month is free. Was it
First
20?
book is free.
There you go.
Some shit like that.
Some shit like that.
Bunch of discounted shit.
Yeah, no,
That's
no.
cool
But seriously,
You should
check out
read
the link in
shit.
the description. Audible's a great site. They have a whole bunch of tons of good reading literature.
Including audio erotica.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Guys,
you want some of that?
Even if you don't want to learn.
I had some
wanna hear
questions
about
about
the
that. So
underbelly of
what was the
You guys are
title
cheap, too.
you said last week?
Oh, there is a book on there called "Milked on Her Uncle's Farm."
That one felt me
Oh,
weird.
boy.
Made me feel weird last time.
If you want some
Like
unintentional
not-
comedy
like blood
gold,
lemons are there? Yeah.
Please, like, when was the last time you had? Imagine some old British woman reading you a fucking like a literature erotica.
That's
Not
pretty
gonna
much
cover
it.
Anything else important?
going to be
If
the
you want to
funniest
click
thing
X, go for it.
Try to
do
keep
it.
a straight
Be
face.
adventurous.
Also, if you're in
You might
the,
learn something.
If you're into like satirical mediatric coverage, check out our buddy Slimeball Steve. He puts episodes out usually Fridays.
Okay. Well, I think that's about it, guys. We will catch you next week. Make sure to catch us tomorrow for
Yes.
Brutal Booze.
Hell yeah.
Me and Frank will tell you what the fuck we were drinking. And don't be douchebags.
Be a dude.
Like, share,
Yeah.
subscribe.
All those things. Bye.
Night, ladies.